Going on, everyone? Welcome to the first chapter of Forex Thursdays. Now, as quite a lot of you do know, I've been waiting to start this series for a very long time, and I did actually almost end up baiting out what it was on an Instagram live by accident before I actually released the website. But I wanted it to come, I wanted the announcement to come along with the website. So basically, just to kind of explain and give you a rundown on what it is, I'll be going through a few currency pairs and maybe some other fun kind of things in the future. As this is just chapter one, we're just going to be going through a few currency pairs just to kind of kick off basically kind of what is happening, and kind of a run through maybe what had happened from the last Forex Thursdays to the current Forex Thursdays. Now, obviously, I can't run through what happened in the last one because there wasn't a last one. As you know, this is the first one. So a very warm welcome to everyone that has tuned in today. And I do hope you enjoy, and I do hope you find some kind of value out of this and potentially make some money out of it as well. Cool. Let's jump straight in. So starting off with AUD USD first of all. I'm just gonna go to a 30-minute and show you. I actually had a trade marked out from here, literally on that wick and on this down wick here, and I actually ended up missing that because I was getting change. I just thought I would have elaborated on that first. It was a bit annoying, but stuff happens. So as you can see, AUD USD has just been on this continuous downtrend of just like since the start of 2018. I'm sure some of you would have known it's just been on a continuous downtrend from 2018. Now, what we could maybe see in the coming few weeks, months, whatever, is a potential reversal back to the upside. Now I'm going to show you exactly why. Now, what I'm going to be expecting for price to do next in order to make some to capitalize off, I'm going to be waiting for price to come down into this down candle region over here. Right, as you can see, we did already once, but I am expecting a move down into here, potentially some rejection before actually moving up. Now, what is a great tip over here is that when price actually comes into here, right, look at this formation that we have, this formation here, right? Now, this is on the daily time frame, right? Once price comes down into this rectangle, what we can actually do is go onto like the 15-minute, 5-minute, and try and see this exact setup, in order to take a long bang, but just very like zoomed in, like super zoomed in when we're right at the rectangle, if that makes sense. And then basically what we've got there is basically the same setup in the same place, but just on two different time frames, which kind of gives us an extra confluence as such. Also as well, for those that my Fibonacci lovers out there, if this is the high, then we know that this is about the 62 region. If I just get that up, that is literally in the 62 region as well, or 618, whatever you guys use, as well. So that's just another extra confluence as well. So that's what I'll be expecting for AUD USD. Now, coming over to the dollar index, what I'll be expecting here is, hold on, let me just go to the 4 hour. So I was anticipating this level to be hit, which I actually had marked out here. It didn't hit it for a long while, so I didn't kind of expect it to, but I did at the same time because we had these equal highs here. And what we actually ended up doing is spiking that to perfection upon the news event. I think it was FOMC, the FOMC meetings. We had a nice spike into that before obviously declining for the rest of the way. If you didn't actually know, the Fed ended up cutting rates to 1.75%, which we had this manipulation spike to the upside because there was a lot of there was over 80% of the Fed members, something like that, were expecting Fed to cut rates, and they did. So we had that. A lot of people would have been in short. They would have had their stops just above here, and bang, hit them, and then fall, causing weakness because of the interest rate shift that we've had, and obviously hopefully continue falling in the long run. Now, if this does continue to fall in the long run, AUD USD should come up in the long run, as they are obviously inversely correlated. Now, what would be quite nice, as I'm waiting for a pull back down on AUD USD back into that zone, what I'll be waiting for potentially is a pullback up into this kind of level here for the DXY before actually falling down. Going over to the daily time frame, there's nothing too much we can see. I don't know if we'll be able to fill this kind of whole inefficiency void thing over here. However, because it does look slightly brave, but if we did obviously trade back up into this kind of thing, what I'd be waiting for is this candle here to be hit, the bottom of that candle, before actually getting our final and fall and reversal on the dollar index. you know, we've been coming up for a very, very long time. I'm sure a lot of you know. You know, since the beginning of 2018, we had this big shift after this big downward movement, and just continued rocketing on the monthly time frame as well, actually, which is quite interesting. I didn't actually point out. Came into this up candle over here, this kind of level, and what we do, we hit it straight away. Just going to mark that one out, and then bang. Now, what we should actually see, hopefully, we've broken this down candle right now. If we break the mean threshold of 50% of that candle and close below potentially, then we can see this big melt all the way down into this kind of zone here, which I have marked out now. Okay, and then these lows here, there's going to be a bunch of liquidity below here. So what I'll be waiting for is price to maybe hit there, rebound off a little bit, maybe, and then go. Now, this is going to take ages, as you know. Look, it's on the monthly time frame. However, we could see 3 big consecutive candles. It's just a matter of time to see what happens, but I'm definitely bearish on the dollar index in the coming few months. And there are obviously other confluences to that, but obviously I won't disclose as much of them fully. But yeah, so that is the dollar index. What have we got next? We've got Euro GBP. Now, what I'd like to see for Euro GBP is a spike, and I'll actually post this on my technical, for the technical analysis side on WickORTreat. If you haven't actually gone to WickORTreat, by the way, you've just kind of found this link somewhere, then I definitely do advise go to WickORTreat.com, which is my website, which I post a ton more stuff, including Forex Thursdays on here as well. And there is also a member section if you are interested, where you can get like a bit more out of it. But anyway, enough of me waffling. What we can actually see is these equal lows, and what I will be expecting is a spike of these equal lows and coming down precisely to this level over here, 85.353, for actually getting a move up, creating potentially a higher low before getting that expansion up into this level over here. I don't think we will trade back up into this kind of range, because this is obviously a massive drop, and we know that slash GBP pairs fell a big amount, over 3%, I think it was. I was like the last week or so, the beginning of October. So that's what I'll be waiting for in Euro GBP. But again, be aware, because we have, today was supposed to be Brexit upon recording this, so there could be some weird news and stuff. Oh, and also NFP is actually tomorrow, so again, be very aware of that. When you're taking these trades as well, that does affect a lot of the currencies, especially the USD pairs. But anyway, that is Euro GBP. Coming down, what have we got? Euro USD. Now, I haven't actually looked at Euro USD quite a lot. I haven't looked at it a lot. But what we could actually potentially see is maybe like the same kind of thing that we're looking at on on AUD USD. We could see a potential trade down into this down candle here, which I have marked over there. Potentially get that nice move up, and that will be, for my Fibonacci lovers, I never draw my Fibonacci like this. I don't know why I'm actually doing this. But say if this was the high here, or we spiked down, we started coming down, say around here, we are around 6.2, is that around 6.2? We're around basically 7.05, I think, to be precise, but I can't actually find it. There, perfectly on 7.05. And we've got 7.9 there as well. Cool. So that's for my Fibonacci lovers. I know a lot of you, do trade it, and I do love Fibonacci myself. So that's what we could potentially see coming into the to the few coming weeks and days and stuff. If we do obviously violate this low, then we will come down into this down candle over here, which we could potentially line up with 1.104, sorry, before actually getting that expansion move to the upside. And what would be nice is seeing a final reversal in trend for slash USD pairs. That would be, immensely, like a good change as such. For all of us, we've been on this, excruciating downtrend for, since the beginning of 2018, just falling. So a nice retest bounce of here and it moves to the upside would be great. 4 hour, can't really see much apart from, we had the same kind of spike, which I, was about to take on AUD/USD. However, I didn't actually manage to. Same with Nzdusd, which I'll go on to right now. Now the members, I actually posted this in the members thing for WickORTreat, and they would have caught a nice 1 to 15.57, or if they risked 2%, they would have caught a 2 to 31.14, if I'm not wrong on my maths there. So you could have caught a nice 31% if you actually were in the members group. And say if your account was, I don't know, 10,000, then your 31.14% would have been 3,114, and you would have made back the membership times F knows, you would have made back how many months of that. Okay, now, you know, it's just little investments like that that can help you a lot. And this, you know, I called one on the free version actually of USD CAD. You know, I called, you know, perfect trade. I'll actually show you at the end of this if you haven't seen it yet. I said we would get a nice move up from this level all the way up into here, which we did to perfection, literally to the T, and we fell as I said we would after we hit that. You know, and that just goes, you know, that just goes to show with, like, you know, taking the time out of your day, taking the time out, you know, just to view other, you know, I'm not saying go with someone else's analysis, but see if it coincides with yours. If it doesn't, who would have gone wrong here? But remember, your bias is the only one that matters. But if you can see there's something that you need to improve, then by all means do it. And if there's something that I can improve, or the person's bias that you're looking at that can improve, obviously let them know as well. But anyway, enough of me waffling. I will go onto the WickORTreat website right after we've you know, completed this you know, this thing. So let's go on to, so it's back to NZDUSD. We're back to NZDUSD now. So we obviously did get that hit, and now I'm expecting a continuous move to the upside. Now again, we could see the same kind of thing, a movement back into this down candle here, before obviously rising, maybe into this down candle, or we could just keep rising, depending on the dollar weakness. If you know, I would like to see dollar retrace up to that level that I did actually mention before actually falling, and I would like, you know, the /USD pairs to hit these down candles, retrace down a little bit before actually getting that move to the upside. Okay, we'll do one more, and then we'll leave it there. So yeah, USD I also gave on the members page, which was a nice 1 to 13.23, perfect trade. Only went into I think it was maybe about 4 pips drawdown, 5 pip drawdown, 6 pip drawdown. So you would have, you know, still been in the trade if you took it from where I posted it. And obviously we are now in, how many pips profit? We're now in 100 pips profit to be exact. So if you did actually take this and you are a member, please place your stop loss at break even. I'm sure which you would have done by now. And you know, let it run down to here, because we are going to spike these lows here. That is a bunch of liquidity which we will hit. And then what we could see maybe with a correlation is a come down to here, a pullback up into one of these up candles here, maybe this one or this one, before actually getting that move down. See this slight pink zone I have here? We could retrace back up into that level before actually, you know, getting on desired move to the downside. And yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. I'm just going to get WickORTreat up. So here we are, WickORTreat. I'm not sure if you guys have found this through WickORTreat, which you may have done, most likely. You can watch a video here for me taking you through it. But say, like, for swing traders, for example, I haven't posted any on these ones yet because of, you know, like, I haven't done that yet. But for a swing trader, if you did actually take this, I had obviously a description, and if you can zoom in, like with your mouse, if you use a Mac, I don't know how to do it on the Windows, and you can see we were going to rise from that exact level there. And what did we do? We obviously rose from that level there and hit that perfectly. And what I'm expecting now is to get that rolled down. Other than that, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. It does mean a lot. This is only, you know, the beginning of, you know, many to come, many more, you know, much more content. The stuff that I have on my website now is probably minuscule to what I'll have in about a year's time. There's already something else coming out for the members, which I have posted out on the Become a Members page. Potential daily motivation videos, you know, for you guys to obviously help you guys keep motivated and stuff. And, you know, in order for you to work hard, I don't want you to buy a membership and you know, and be to yourself, oh, you know what, I've bought a membership, I'm just going to relax now because I'll let this guy do all the work. No, you have to do the work as well as obviously looking at the membership and stuff. you have to pave your own road at the end of the day. All that membership is just someone helping you on the side of the road saying, okay, pave this, pave that. I won't go into too much detail about all this motivation stuff. I'll save that for the podcast, which again is also on the members page. But other than that, guys, I hope this helps a lot, and it's basically showing you my my insights on what I think is going to happen on the market, what will probably happen in the market. And any feedback will be greatly appreciated, either in the comments or just drop me a message on Instagram, or email WickORTreat@gmail.com. My Instagram is AMG_FX for those of you that don't follow me. And if you if you could follow the WickORtreat Telegram, t.me/WickORtreat, where you can see all the latest updates, where I'm posting, say, technical analysis, fundamental analysis, Submit Saturdays, which is another thing, when a Forex Thursdays edition comes out. And yeah, these also will be posted every other Thursday, not every Thursday, because the market can be quite slow maybe the next week or something like that, and there's nothing much to kind of go over. Other than that, guys, have a great rest of your day. I do hope you enjoy this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.